There we go. At CurrentDesk, we build software for brokers. Today, we're going to talk about CurrentBusiness. CurrentBusiness is a platform-independent broker management software suite. Imagine a broker with streamlined workflows, automated processes, empowered partners, and accurate reporting. That's what CurrentBusiness does and a whole lot more. And it all starts with a white-labeled trader portal. The trader portal is where clients of brokers log in and they manage their accounts, any account they have on any trading platform with real-time data coming in. In addition, they can transfer funds between different accounts on different trading platforms. They can do deposits, they can do withdrawals, and they can even do conversions. They can also upload documents, streamlining the online application process. They can do internal messaging between admin users, even between departments within the admin. So create a group conversation and have different admin users contribute to that conversation. From there, we move over to the partner back office. The partner back office is where you're introducing brokers, your asset managers. They log in and they manage all of their client details. Again, they see all of that data in real time. They can see statuses of their clients. Who just got recently approved? Who's pending approval? Who's missing documents? Which documents are missing, so they can call the client and get the client to either upload the documents or email the document to them so they can upload it for them. They can see who's active, who's recently inactive, so they can get their clients active again, because obviously inactive clients mean no revenue for the introducing broker or for the broker. We're releasing a multi-partner relationship module, which allows for the IBs to be IBs of IBs of IBs of IBs. And even more granular than that, you can have an IB who has clients who has multiple accounts, and you can set the profit share on the account of a client of an IB of a super IB. So there's ultimate flexibility for them to create those relationships however they want. There's all kinds of marketing tools. There's reporting built into it. There's also reports for the trader portal. There's requests, all kinds of things we can't talk about today. And then lastly is the admin back office. So this is where the broker manages the entire business. So the broker creates, it all starts with customized roles. So they create roles for their Treasury department, their compliance department, sales, support. They can set data permissions for those specific users, allowing the integrity of the data to only be displayed to the specific users that need access to it. The system's completely platform independent. So those users, those admin users that we created, can access the system. They have access to all clients with all trading platforms within one central location. So instead of trying to manage their clients on all different types of platforms, they manage everything within CurrentBusiness. The system is built around structured processes. So for example, you have a client that wants a leverage change on one of their accounts. The client logs into their trader portal. They request the leverage change on a specific platform. The support admin is alerted that this specific client wants a leverage change on this specific platform.
Travis, you have about 2 minutes.
And they would approve it, and everything's automated from that point. So as soon as they approve it, the leverage is changed on the platform, and the client's alerted in their back office that the leverage has been changed. Same thing with transactions, same thing with account approval process. Everything's streamlined and automated. Sales team members have all kinds of features within the system. They can manage their leads. They can see what their conversion ratios are. They can set lead statuses, basically creating a more efficient environment for them to close leads and manage their clients at the same time. Marketing campaigns are built within the system as well. Most brokers have an idea on what their cost per lead is, but they really have no idea what their revenue per marketing campaign is. Well, because all of the data is being brought into the database, we can tell them exactly how much revenue they've generated from each individual marketing campaign, so they know exactly where to continue spending their money. In addition to that, because the data that's coming into the system, we can allow the broker to micro-target to their clients and their leads. So essentially, if a broker wants to send some sort of email marketing campaign to a lead or a group of leads that traded on MetaTrader on their demo account, they traded gold, and they did this all last week. They live in France and they speak German, as an example. They can create that query, tells them who to send it to, and then they can create the marketing campaign right inside CurrentBusiness and send the email out to them. Asset manager, multi-asset manager, we've kind of revolutionized how multi-asset managers work. We've built one within the system.
30 seconds, Travis.
We've changed a lot. It's a big conversation. If you want to learn more about it, stop by the booth. Essentially, no more inaccurate equities, down to 8th decimal point accuracy, taking the managed account out of the trading platform. It's just a completely new approach to managed account programs. And then lastly, revenue calculation. A lot of brokers are trying to guess how much money they made because they've got different platforms that charge different ways. LPs charge per million, et cetera, et cetera. They run a revenue report for a specific period. It tells them exactly how much they made from all platforms. Commissions, spreads, commissions, markups, swaps, bank fees,
time.
conversions. That's current business in 5 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
Questions?
So you're basically pitching this as for startups, startup brokerages. Is that your main demographic?
Not necessarily. Actually, majority of our clients that we've onboarded are existing brokers to this point. It's more for the small to medium-sized broker. A lot of the bigger brokers, they're like a machine, right? And they've got, in certain aspects, even legacy software. And so they have these big back office staffs that kind of do a lot of manual processes. So the small to medium-sized brokers look at the software and they see an opportunity for them to streamline their back office, automate a lot of the workflows, like for instance, automating management fees are automatically charged, performance fees are automatically charged, high watermarks automatically tracked, and so they don't have to have that staff every month charging those accounts. And so basically we look at it as an equalizer for them from the perspective of the bigger brokers. So we give them the ability to streamline that back office to where the bigger brokers have a big back office where they have a huge marketing budget, so they can just push and push and push, and they control a majority, like yourself, control a majority of the market share. These little guys, they can't do that. So if they can streamline that back office, then they can apply more resources and spending on the sales and the marketing aspect. So we're leveling the playing field, allowing them to come and hopefully take away some of that market share from the big guys.
So adding that efficiency to the small to mid-tier guys is great, but within the FX space, you basically have the trend of huge consolidation. So that group of small to mid-sized brokers is shrinking year by year. How do you see that impacting your business going down the road 4 or 5 years?
I think that a lot of people probably disagree with you on the shrinking aspect of it. I mean, we get contacted on a daily basis from people starting brokers, and we're actually signing agreements on a regular basis. We just signed another one last week with a new reseller starting up, that's basically putting these packages together, helping people start brokers. And you're right on some of the acquisitions and stuff, but part of the reason, basically this creates the ability for these brokers to really not just close their doors. Part of the reason they do that is because just the cost. I mean, they have to maintain all this data, to maintain all of the support levels. They have to have this huge staff. Well, if they don't need that anymore, literally somebody using CurrentBusiness could run their business with 2 guys or gals, and come give the appearance that they're the size of a major player in the market. And honestly, give even that kind of support level too, because everything's automated, so they don't have to. The client doesn't have to always call and ask if they can transfer funds by themselves internally between platforms, and they can actually either request it internally. Sometimes it's immediate, depending on the settings the broker has. You know, obviously it's broker dependent on how they set their settings up and what happens, but it's giving them an advantage to where they can actually succeed and actually, like I said, move into that market share that's controlled by the major, the minor.
And last question, where are you getting traction in terms of the brokerages that you are signing up?
Yeah, resellers. We actually don't have an internal sales team. Mainly resellers that we've signed agreements with that are introducing clients to us directly.
So thanks for putting together a very thoughtful, it looks like a really elegant solution, and you know the whole concept of a brokerage in a box for the long tail sounds really interesting. It seems like there's a lot of focus on sort of regulatory compliance and global regulatory compliance. So talk a little bit about what this product does as you think about international regulatory requirements and being able to look at transactions on a certain date and what they cleared out.
Obviously, we have 5 minutes to go over. You know, the system's massive. It does so much. The broker, when we do a setup, they can create all their client agreements specific to their broker. They can set rules. Specific agreements are for clients over 55, clients that make less than this. So it's really built to where any regulatory environment the system can be deployed for that specific environment.
But is it? I mean, do you have all the reporting for NFA? I mean, all of the reports that they require.
Absolutely, it's got more reports than I can tell you about, and any report that's needed, we have all the data. So when a client comes to us and say, "I need this report for this specific,"
so you're certifying that the materials that you are compliant, like the reporting that you do is appropriate for all the regulatory bodies.
We build the reports based on their request if they have a report that's not compliant.
Thanks.
I had a question on the price. You know, what's the product priced at? How did you come up with that price point? How does it compare to the competition?
Yeah, so we'll answer your question kind of from back to front. So competition, there's really not a whole lot of competition because in this industry, there's CRMs, you got Sugar and Salesforce, right? But those are like standard CRMs, and then the client has to come in and try and customize the CRM for Forex, right? So we built a solution that's tailored to that specific industry, to that broker. When it comes to pricing, we charge based on active users, okay? So we define an active user as a client of the broker that traded last period or last month, because we don't believe that it's fair to charge them for a client that they're not making money off of. What we call the starter package, not a broker that's just starting and getting, but an existing broker that has less than 1,000 active users, or it includes 1,000 active users, it's about $4,000 a month. So they're spending $4,000 a month on a solution that really does the workload of 3, 4, 5 employees technically. So it really, you know, when these, like what you asked before, when these existing brokers come on board, it really gives them the opportunity to reallocate those resources. They've got this big back office staff. They can pay less for a solution that automates the processes, and then move those resources to the sales aspect, and generate more revenue.
So I actually would have assumed this was actually for startup brokers as well. So when you're coming into an existing brokerage, are you pulling something out, or are you putting yourselves alongside something? And is that difficult?
Yeah. It's a migration.
So basically, 2 minutes, guys.
So basically, you know, most of these existing brokers, they're using something like a Sugar, or just MetaTrader Manager, or MetaTrader Manager in some other platform, right? So we basically come in, we do a data migration, we pull all that data out from wherever they're storing it, we bring it all into CurrentBusiness, and then they move all of their workload from that point to CurrentBusiness, and they run their entire business, their entire broker within CurrentBusiness.
And how long does that take? Do you do that for them? Does that take a substantial amount of heavy lifting on their side?
We charge for that, but we don't charge. Our goal is not to really necessarily make money off of the data migration, because we want to help them, support them, get it over. It depends on how the client stores their data, right? In most cases, it takes us a couple of days, and it costs a couple of $1,000s. There's obviously the rare cases to where, for some reason, in everybody's last name, they have some random character. And then, of course, it's a pain in the neck, right? And so we have to go try and create filters and basically filter that data out before we migrate into the system.
Thanks.
I'm not the marketing guy, but what's the go-to-market strategy?
Yeah, so we've partnered, like I said, with multiple resellers at this point, and
How's that going?
it's going good. I mean, we just partnered with a new one last week, and they're already bringing on their first client to us. It's a real easy sell. These resellers are doing a lot of the starter broker business, and so for us to start a broker, that's the easiest deployment for us. No data migration. We can set it up real quick, and you know, we're already integrated. Most of these guys are using MetaTrader. We can integrate with any platform because it's completely platform independent. So that's the advantage of a broker that's using this software. Maybe they're using MetaTrader now, and let's say some other platform, CurrentX, right? But what are they going to do in 3 years from now? Maybe MetaTrader is no longer around, and they want something else. Well, now, if the way they're structured now, that data is all there, and so it's hard for them to do those transitions. With us, stop offering MetaTrader, tell us what platform you want us to integrate to, and everything stays the same. The client's still logged in the same back office. The admin's still using the same portal. So it's a really good solution looking into the future, because they never know what platforms they're going to be offering down the road.
All right, that kind of wraps us up. Sorry, guys.
Thanks, guys.